I ain't gonna lie to you. At this point in my life, I would not date a man who has no money. Because why would I do that?
You did it before?
Yeah, I've done it before, but I also didn't have no money. So, and I'm not saying I'm balling, but like, you know, let's be responsible adults here. We don't have no business dating each other if we're not like trying to be stable.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Who's Who with Liu, starring none other than your girl, Funny Liu. Today I have a beautiful individual in my presence. She's a singer, songwriter, performer, business owner, chef, hairstylist. She got too much shit going on, y'all. But please give everyone welcome to my favorite Pisces in the whole world besides myself, Miss Laje.
Hey, everybody.
How you doing?
Hi.
You look good as shit.
Thank you. So do you.
What you got going on?
Girl, I have a show tonight, so I came ready to go from one spot to the next.
You got a lot going on, and it's 420. You gonna get high. Okay.
Definitely.
I love that for you. We got wine on deck. She bought me some wine, y'all. What's this?
Peach tea wine cocktail.
Girl, this shit is good.
With a splash of Espolon.
Oh, splash of Espolon. You be cooking some shit up. Y'all, so we went to Jamaica, right? For our birthdays, because mine on the 13th was the 17th. We went to Jamaica, and she was like literally our chef the whole time we was there. And she was making our drinks. You need to tell them what you made for us.
I made that little pineapple thing. That was so good. So we had a little champagne left. We ain't had no orange juice. We just had pineapple juice and some fruit. And I blended it all up and then added the champagne, and it was so...
You was making
delicious.
shit work when we was there, bro.
We had to. We was at Airbnb.
We ain't had no food. Gee, that night we came back to the Airbnb and we ain't had no food, and the only thing we had up in there was that ramen you had bought.
I remember that.
Me and Dama was sitting at the table sharing a fork, eating the ramen. I was like, damn, this is wild. That's how you know motherfuckers really be friends. But we ain't come here to talk about that. I wanted to talk to you about a number of other things. We had an EP recently come out. You got a lot of things going on, but you've come a super long way. So I'm excited to have this interview with you. But before we get into all of that, I got a little segment that I want to start, and it's called Liu in 2. So basically, you gotta spit around in these little questions or whatever, and you just just spit out your answers. Okay. All right. So boom. Cancer man or a Sagittarius man?
Sagittarius man.
Oh, you said that too fast. Okay. A loyal and loving starving artist or a generous rich guy?
Generous.
Look at you.
A generous rich, because we don't starve.
Okay.
A generous, I would rather.
Okay.
I don't want to starve.
I feel that, but like, okay, so say you make more money than a dude, and he really like trying to get his shit up off the ground.
Oh, well, that's different.
He's loyal and he's loving, but he ain't got no fucking money though. Like, but the rich guy.
I ain't gonna lie to you, Bunny.
The rich guy got it though.
I ain't gonna lie to you. At this point in my life, I would not date a man who has no money. Because why would I do that?
You did it before?
Yeah, I've done it before, but I also didn't have no money. So, and I'm not saying I'm balling, but like, you know, let's be responsible adults here. We don't have no business dating each other if we're not like, you know, trying to be stable.
I said the same thing. I said that too, though, because I just be feeling like, and I see this tweet all the time where people be like, okay, well, you don't have to have all your shit together in order to date people, but I feel like you need to have like at least a little foundation, because you can't date not having no money. Like dates require
money. Exactly. And it's not even on some like gold digger, because I'm not a gold digger, but I don't think it makes you a gold digger to require basic stability. You know,
I think so too. But nowadays, girls 2024, and that's what these men think. Like, okay, well,
that's their business. They can find them a girl that don't mind, but I mind. So it's not. You're not wrong. It's not a match.
You're not wrong. Okay, next, introvert or extrovert?
Usually introverted, but I'm becoming a little more extroverted as we.
Why?
I don't know. I just am becoming more of a people person.
Okay, I like that.
I don't know what that's about, but
I like that. That's weird though, because everybody who's like extroverts before COVID, they're introverts now.
So and I was an introvert before COVID anyway.
Damn.
So I just got really tired of it.
Oh, okay. So you breaking out your shield type shit. Okay, period. So club hopping or intimate girl time?
Intimate girl time. I'm not a club hopper.
Okay, why do you like the club?
I like the club if we out on vacation. You know what I mean? But also, Chicago nightlife is terrible. So I would rather spend time with my girls, go get drinks and food, than go to the club.
I agree wholeheartedly. Wine or tequila? We sipping on both right now. Or both?
Both.
God damn. All
I mean, we literally sipping on both.
We sipping on both. Luxury brands or cute, cheap outfits?
I'm taking too long to answer. I mean, like, I prefer, a nice quality thing, but, sometimes you can't always afford the nice quality thing that you want. So, I mean, it's a mix of both. I would say, yeah. Okay,
yeah. Thanks. Okay, all right. That's enough for two. Well, look, let's get into everything that you got going on, and including your EP, things of that nature. But I do want to reference something that I found on you during my research. So your first ever performance was in 2015. You did a stress fest. Bro, I seen that video.
Oh my God.
Yes. You don't remember that?
I remember that.
It was September 2015
or
something.
It was a while ago. That was my first performance.
And I was watching the video and I'm like, bro, she has grown up so much. Like, you was up there rapping about some crazy raunchy shit. And I'm like, that ain't even her music.
Yeah, I don't even remember the music from back then, for real. It was not developed.
You was rapping your ass off though. Like, I was just like, damn, you wasn't even singing back then, were you?
No, not for real. I might have did like sing a hook or something, but I was really mostly rapping.
And I was like, oh my God, this girl, your brand, nothing like that right now. So I thought that was really interesting to fan. I want to talk about your EP, Love and Bloom. That's your first EP that you've dropped since
2017.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
For real. Yeah. That's a long time.
It don't even feel that long, but it's been 7 whole years.
What?
Yeah.
Since your last one? Wait, hold on, because your last project was Valedictorian, right? Yeah,
It also had a lot of rap. It was only 5 songs, but
it was a lot of rap on that one though. But this Love and Bloom has like a whole different type of feel to it. But this is your first project that you've dropped since leaving your previous label, right? Okay. So what has been like the difference with your artistry since you've basically stopped working with the label?
Well, the experience in the process feels more like my own. I feel like a lot freer to create and to release and all of that stuff. I feel like there's not like a gray cloud hanging over my creative process. So it's a lot more fulfilling for me than it was, previously.
But it hasn't affected your creativity or anything like that whatsoever?
No, I would say when I was under contract, it was affecting my creativity, like a lot. Like, if anything, I feel like I can access more of my creativity now than when I was actually working with the label, because there were so many opinions and like ideas and men doing what men do and try to control the process and be like, you need to be making this type of music. And it's so much more freeing to create now.
What type of music were they trying to make you make though?
Like club music. They was like, you need to use these buzzwords that the girls be using. And I get it, like there is a need for that type of music too, but I think that there was not a lot of respect for my artistry. It was a lot of trying to make me into the artist that they wanted me to be. Okay.
They probably would have liked your old music. Yeah. Back for 2015 type situation, because that was more like popular, catchy, hype, things of that nature. But I feel like nowadays don't nobody really respect the grind and the actual artistry that goes into being an R&B artist, because that's a whole different realm versus rap. Like, you could just rap out the gate, it is what it is. Get a hype beat, it is what it is. But with R&B, that's a whole different story.
Yeah, you really gotta like cultivate it and take your time with it for real.
What was going on during the 7 years that you didn't drop a project?
Well, I was signed for like 3 of those years.
Damn.
And just a lot of overthinking, or just not feeling ready to put something out. But I kind of, like, the music on this project has been done for like 2 years now.
Wow.
So it was just time. And I wanted to drop it because I wanted to move on from that era of my life into the next era. So
Mm-hmm. Period. Mm-hmm. We actually had a conversation about your album. This was supposed to be an album because it ended up, Love and Bloom ended up being a EP. Mm-hmm. But you were supposed to drop an album in 2023, and you cut the list down tremendously. Yeah, you had a lot of records, and they were really like a lot of rap records, things of that nature. So what made you just basically cut it down and was like, okay, I'm gonna make this a love EP and cut it down?
Well, I have multiple reasons. I think for me, it was all about the songs that felt ready for the world. You know what I mean? Like if you have a baby and you gotta like raise it and nurture it until it's ready to go out into the world, I feel like those were the 5 songs that I felt were ready. The other songs, I still want to like use them, but they need a little bit more nurturing. But I wanted to make a project that was completely about love because, for one, I think that we need a lot more of that in the music industry and in the world in general. So if I can use my talents to like put that vibration out into the world, and whoever listens to it might receive that vibration, I feel like I'm doing my part to kind of combat the negativity and the chaos that's going on in the music industry and in the world right now.
I feel that. Yeah. In the beginning of your EP, though, like the theme of Love and Bloom is love, it's sharing love, it's receiving love. But the first song, which is so deep, like when you were singing, I was like, damn, this sounds like my inner thoughts, like Doing My Best. Yeah. So Doing My Best is a super deep song. It's short, but it's deep, though. Yeah. And one of the quotes out of the song was like, gotta pretend to be who I want to be, but I'm not there yet. Feel like I ain't did enough, but I'm doing my best. And I was like, oh my God, that sounds like me. And I'm pretty sure everybody feels like that nowadays. But you are a singer, songwriter. You perform all the time. You have a studio where people can come and create their own artistry. So it feels like you're doing so much already. So who were you talking to on that song?
Myself, for real. I remember when I wrote that song, I was very emotionally overwhelmed. I was very sad. I felt very lost in where I was at in my life. And, you know, I just sat down. I turned on some, like, acoustic guitar or whatever and just wrote whatever I was feeling. But I was just... I felt like I should have been further along for where I was at. But then I also had to just remind myself that I really am just doing my best. So... we can't do nothing but our best. So I'm glad that song made it onto the project because I think a lot of people can relate to that.
So at the time you felt that way, but since then though you didn't have the studio open, you weren't doing all the shows that you're doing right now.
Right.
So currently at the moment you still decided to put that on the album. Why did you still decide to put that on the album even though you're not even in that space anymore?
Because I wanted people to see and experience another side of me that's not just like singing about lovey-dovey, oh I love this man.
Right.
You know, like I am a person who sometimes I second guess myself and I don't always feel like I am doing everything that I can be doing, but at the end of the day we do our best. And I feel like that showcases a level of like realness with yourself and also just a little vulnerability that I think the music industry also needs more of.
You feel like nobody's vulnerable in the industry?
No, I think that people are vulnerable. I just think that vulnerability shouldn't be as like taboo as it is. Like a lot of people are afraid to be vulnerable because, I mean, we all have our experiences that make us that way, but I think vulnerability really is a strength. And then when you are vulnerable, you feel so much better that you got to like release how you felt.
I agree, 100%. Yeah. And in this EP, you talk just a lot about being free-flowing, being in love. Are you currently in a relationship?
I am.
Okay, period. Okay. Did your relationship inspire the EP in any way, shape, or form?
Yeah, it inspired most of the songs on the EP, honestly. And I'm grateful to have a partner who inspires, you know, beautiful music from me and helps me to grow as an individual because he's also a creative too. So I feel like he's a really great sounding board for all of my ideas and vice versa.
How has the positives and the negatives of your relationship kind of like shaped your artistry today?
I don't know. I think it just has made me a lot more open, just in general, like open to share with the world. Yeah.
Okay, so your EP is out. And you also have a studio, which is Genie Studios. How is that going currently?
It's going really good. I opened it maybe like 8 months ago. No, actually, we are coming up on a year now.
Is that long?
Well, I signed the lease a year ago, but we didn't open until like 2 or 3 months later. But it's been going pretty good. I've been meeting so many people and like helping people out with their own like creative vision whenever they need it. But I don't know. I love seeing something that I put a lot of work into, like building those sets and everything, and then people are so excited to use them, and they post them on their stories, and they tag me, and it's just so cool. It's like, oh, I made that. That's so cool.
Yeah. What inspired you to even open the studio?
Being an artist. I feel like as an artist, we spend a lot of money booking like locations for like their creative sets, and a lot of times I would book locations and then I would build my own sets. You know what I mean? Like bring props and make it look good. And I was like, I could do this in my own space and just have other people pay me to use it instead of paying other people. So now, you know, whenever I want to try a new set, I can do it at my studio. But also if it gets like good feedback, I'll leave it up and let people use it. So that was the main inspiration, to save money, for real.
Okay, period.
And to make money. So.
Yeah, and to make money. That was a brilliant idea, though. I feel like one of the best ways to get rich is to create a need. Well, actually create a solution for a need. And that's exactly what you did. So I love that for you. Yeah. And you plan on keeping that?
Yes. Okay. I'm going to just, I'm going to stay in the same place. I wanted to move studios, but I think a lot of people, all of my clients who've known me so far know me to be in this particular space. So I just kind of want to like build on the space that I have and just let that be our, what do you call it?
The hub.
Yes, the hub.
Yeah. I like the flagship place.
Yeah, flagship. That's the word.
Yeah, flagship. Period. I do want to ask a question though. As far as your EP, so it took you several years to actually drop the EP, and in that meantime, like I'll say for a lot of artists, especially in our generation, like when they don't drop for a long period of time and a lot is going on in their personal lives, like they feel as though they actually do have to drop something or be pressured to drop anything because like the instant gratification of people being in love with their artistry or just being in love with them in general just dies down. Did that affect you in any type of way?
I mean, I had times where I thought about it, but honestly, I feel like my path is mine, and these things that are placed on my path that may feel not so positive or may be stressful are just a part of my path. And if that pulls me away from dropping music, then that's just what my path is. And when it's time for me to like be back out there and dropping music, I have good faith that it will still be received because I feel like this is my path. So, at first I did have those feelings, but then I was like, at the end of the day, the day got to end. I'm just playing. No, but at the end of the day, like, everybody, there's going to be another day tomorrow and another day after that. Like, you can't really be thinking like that. You kind of just got to do whatever you feel. Trust your spirit, trust your gut. And that's it.
Yeah. And your gut was basically telling you, like, look, I got to wait. Like, I'm not even worried about it. It's not time. And
I ain't going to lie. I was trying, like, I didn't want to drop the project with the situation that I had, with the label. It was just very chaotic. And it was I didn't want to release music under that type of energy. Okay. So I had to figure that thing out. Got it figured out. Yeah. And then I started dropping again last year. Yeah.
It sounded like that the label situation was way too tumultuous for you, and I don't know a lot of people in Chicago that are assigned to labels or Chicago labels in general, because we really don't have none for real. So that's interesting that you actually got in tune with them.
Yeah, we got some small labels.
We got a couple. I can't even name none, to be honest. But what would you suggest for artists to do that was in your shoes? Because that sounded like that was a tumultuous experience.
It was so stressful, girl. Like. And it absolutely wasn't worth it in the long run for me. I would suggest not signing with these small labels for real. And I mean, I'm sorry if you got a small label and you trying to sign artists. But like, I think, most of what they can even contribute, because 9 times out of 10, these are regular people who work a 9 to 5. You know what I mean? They might make a little bit more money than you, but like, they not rich for real. So like, they feeling these expenses. You know what I mean? And sometimes being an artist is expensive. So like if they not really like prepared to spend that kind of money, they're gonna like dampen your whole process. And it don't even gotta be a lot of money. The studio time is, if you're a woman, studio time, photo shoots, hair, makeup, video shoots. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I think everyone, unless it's like a major or it's like really like gonna change your life for real, I would recommend doing your best on your own. You know what I mean? Like network as much as you possibly can to see who can help you with what, but like don't sign unless it's like really gonna change your life.
I tell people that all the time because I'm like, everything that the label does for you, you can pretty much do that on your own with building relationships. It'll actually be better if you were independent because the people that you are working with is not like they have to go through several different avenues in order to get to you, the actual artist.
Exactly.
So you can build better and more organic relationships with videographers, photographers, things of that nature, and they'll be willing to help you better. So if you were to sign again, it would have to be a huge situation.
Yeah,
much.
and I also think, you know, just like the energy got to be right. Because I think you can sign with somebody, but you have to really think based on personalities. Is this somebody that you want represent you in an important room that you can't be there? Are you comfortable with them speaking for you? Like, you got to consider all those things. Like, if somebody is easily set off, somebody's a hothead, or they ego be so inflated, and they talking to somebody about you and that other person who got some pull that can really help you change your career, say something that rubbed them the wrong way. Are they going to say something that's going to blow the whole relationship up? Like, there's so much, like, dealing with other personalities. I don't like to put my career in other people's hands because people be unpredictable, especially men of a specific generation.
I agree.
And, you know, I think sometimes when the ego is at the forefront, they don't think about the effect of it. Sometimes ever, and sometimes until, like, it's too late, and you done already put your foot in your mouth, and now people don't want to deal with you or your artist. You know, like, you just got to be careful with who you align yourself with.
Yeah, I agree. And everybody says that this is the music business, this is the music industry, but the music industry is not just music. Like, this industry is more personal than anybody would
pretty much all
believe.
personal.
Exactly. Like, money be on the line, situations be on the line, all because of a personal situation. So it is like pertinent that you kind of, you know, keep your nose clean and be about some ass. And
pay attention to people, like how they move, like, you know.
Yeah. How have you sustained your relationships with the people that you've previously worked with while you were signed to a label versus like now? How do you still sustain your relationships with people? I
kind of just have always been doing my own thing for real. Like, you know, even like the connections that I had, the other artists and producers and things like that I was working with before I was signed, some of them really was feeling away after I got signed because I couldn't make every decision by myself. And then, you know, some people would start feeling like a decision that was made by the team was your personal decision, and it's just not that. You know, when you have a team that makes decisions, sometimes it's above you. But, you know, so just trying to, like, explain yourself. Well, I won't say explain yourself, but just, like, be very open in your communication about what's going on. And, yeah, just, like, don't forget about the people that you was working with beforehand.
Yeah, you always reach back when you do move up a level. Well, I'm so curious because every year that I've known you, it was always something different with you. Like a different business venture, a different project, different video, different something. You also you're a social media manager too, right? Yeah. So you do that now. Who pays you manage right now?
Well, I do a little social media marketing and management for this mega church in the south suburbs. I don't know if I could tell y'all because I don't know. But it's a really big church, and, you know, I appreciate that because I haven't been to church in a while, and I was always saying, you know, I'm going to go back to church. But then sometimes I go to church and I don't have a good experience, so now I be watching church on, like, YouTube and stuff like that. But I think that the universe brought this around to me so that I can still, you know, as I'm working, I'm hearing the sermons, and some of the sermons really do hit home for me. And now I have, like, a really personal connection with the church and the work that I do for them. So, yeah.
That's dope. Do you ever, because I know, well, I would presume that your end all be all is music, correct? Is that what you want to do like for the rest of your life?
The rest of my life, I don't know. I kind of feel like I really am a person that just goes with the flow. I'm a Pisces, like you. You know, you just kind of take life as it comes. I really do enjoy music. I love it with all of my heart. But I have so many other things that I also love with all of my heart, you know, like just art in general. I love being able to like go to my studio and do whatever I want in there. Or like, you know, being able to, you know, eventually I want to go to culinary school. You know, like there's so many things that I want to do in my life, and I don't want to limit myself to just music. Like I do love music. I want to like, you know, lay some roots, but I definitely want to branch off. Like, like a Rihanna type of situation. Like, you know, it's just lay the foundation.
We ain't never getting a project about that.
Right. No, I heard. I ain't gonna lie. I heard that she working on the project right now.
Lord.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it will be well received then because, you know, she ain't put out nothing in a long time.
We've been waiting.
So basically, yeah, it's giving Rihanna vibes because she do everything. But are you pressured, or have you ever felt pressured to actually pick a lane because you do so many things? You've never felt like, look, I gotta choose something so something can make sense.
Sometimes, but very rarely. Because right now I feel like I'm starting to reach a balance in the things that I do. Like I just have to like allocate my time appropriately. And some of the things kind of go hand in hand. Like my studio and the music goes hand in hand. And the social media management is just work. You know what I mean? Like it's just a job. But my main two things would be music and my studio. And those are like really my main focus. I want to build an entire production studio empire, like 50 Cent and Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry.
Yes, I want to have a huge studio that people pay me to come shoot their movies in, you know? And, you know, I'm starting with my one studio, but eventually I want to get another studio in the same building and just keep building on top of that, you know?
Do you just wake up with these dreams? Like, this
I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like my best ideas come to me in the shower. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, I like that.
Because I one day was like thinking about where am I going to shoot my next video? And then I was like, you know what? I should just open my own studio. And then I was talking to my mentor, and she was just like, okay, let's do it. If you want to do it, I'm with you. And I was like, okay, let's do it then. And we just did it. But I have a lot of like creative freedom to do whatever I want in the studio. And she's just like a silent partner. Yeah.
Is that what happened with the EP? You just woke up one day and was like, okay, I'm just going to drop.
Yep. Well, yeah, because this year, you know, there's a lot going on in the cosmos, and the planets are doing things that they haven't done in 100 years type thing.
Tell people what's going on with the cosmos and planets. Everybody don't know.
Like in the beginning of the year, there was like a period where all of the planets were going direct. There was no retrogrades for like a 3-month period. And so they said during that time would be ideal for you to like launch things or start something new or drop something. And so I was like, okay, I just got to make the deadline. The deadline was March 20th when we had our first retrograde, which was Mercury. So I was like, okay, I might as well drop on my birthday because that's right before, you know, the deadline ends. And I dropped it. And I feel like since I decided to sign with that label, this project has been well received. I will say everything that I've dropped since I stopped working with them has been much more well received than when I was working with them.
Interesting.
I mean, it's an energy thing. Though? I think God will withhold blessings if you have the wrong energy involved in it. Because who's to say that, you know, everything that I've been hoping for came to me while I was with them and they just ruined the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's easier to like receive your blessings when you don't have other people like blocking them, or like, you know, because sometimes you will work with people and they will intentionally sabotage things, you know? So, and some people energy just is bad, and God doesn't want your blessings to fall in their hands, you know? So I feel like that. Like, I feel like the first song that I dropped since I, you know, parted ways with them did the best out of everything that I dropped while I was with them. Everything that I dropped with them combined.
Showstopper?
No, it was Don't You.
Don't You. Oh, that was the first one that you dropped since then. What? And that got a lot of praise for sure. Like, everybody was sharing that song.
Yeah.
I love that song.
It is. It's one of my favorite songs, I would say. But yeah, I think when you got the wrong energy on your train, it's only so far it can go until you drop the dead weight. I don't want to say them people was dead,
but it just wasn't. It just wasn't aligned with you.
Exactly. It wasn't in alignment with my path.
Mm-hmm. Period. And what does the path look like now? Since you've gotten away from that, it seems like you have like a very clean slate at this point. You're not tied to anybody. You just dropped your EP. It's getting amazing praise. You've gotten several write-ups for the EP in such a short amount of time. Like, I don't know anybody who can get like 5 write-ups on an EP like that so fast.
I'm just grateful.
Yeah.
I think, again, I'm just looking at life with like a sense of wonderment. You know what I mean? Like, I just am excited for what's to come. I'm not trying to control what's coming. I'm not trying to like predict the outcome. I'm kind of just like going with the flow, and whatever my spirit is telling me to do, that's what I'm doing. So they told me to drop the project. I dropped the project. And I feel like it's been doing really well. And I don't know. I think when you listen to your spirit, you can only be rewarded for it. And sometimes it don't feel like a reward. Like if your spirit telling you to do something that you really don't want to do, but you know you need to do, but you just don't want to do it, and it be hard when you actually do it, it don't feel like a reward. But once you get on the other side of it, it's like a brand new life.
You're like, yes, oh my God, I'm so glad I listened to myself. I do got a question though. What does spirit sound like for you? Because you said earlier that you usually don't go to church. So you have a different type of relationship with the powers that be. So what does that voice sound like to you?
It sounds like me. But I think, and I will share, a few years ago, I did ayahuasca. Okay. Which is like a psychedelic tea that I feel like I was talking to my higher self the entire time, and the voice sounded just like mine, but the way that they spoke was very wise. Like an old lady, you know? Like how, the way your grandma talked to you. Yeah. I feel like that's the way that my higher self talks to me, but it sounds like my voice, though. So whenever I hear, like, that inner voice saying something, like if I'm asking a mental question, or even if I ask it out loud, you know, and I hear that, I just immediately go with that now, instead of just questioning or be like, that was just an intrusive thought. Like, it's not an intrusive thought. It's your spirit talking to you. So I kind of just go with my first mind and go with my gut immediately now. I don't question it at all anymore. And that's what, well, you would suggest other people to do the same. Okay, because I think I'm doing the same thing too. Yeah. That's kind of the reason why I started this show. That's why we here.
Yeah, that's why we here. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Exactly. Because I was, of course, like, I'm a rapper and I do that, and I'm an artist as well. But something was just nudging at me to be like, listen to your inner child. Because I used to do things like this all the time. I had like a short little radio show that I used to do in my room with my brothers. And it was so cute. It was so funny. We used to record on my computer. We had a good
you was doing it for real.
I was doing it for real. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll do this one day when I get older. But then like the path had totally shifted, and I wasn't even doing this no more. But when I woke up one day, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go back to what I wanted to do when I was a kid, and I think that was my inner person too. Yeah, and I just kind of like slept on it and prayed about it, and then it just ended up happening. Blossomed. Yeah, I feel like once you like your feet follow your thoughts type of situation, and I think that's the reason why everybody should kind of think positively, because you know, like,
expect the best, you know, because a lot of people, they will like prepare for the worst but hope for the best. But if you're prepared, why not prepare for the best, you know?
I never heard that saying before. So
you never heard that? People you need to that. They really
you need to coin that, because nobody ever said that before.
No, just prepare and hope for the best, because I think things could go wrong, but things could also go way better than you ever expected. So, and I think you're doing a phenomenal job with this show. You really are.
Thank you. And you're doing a phenomenal job doing everything that you do.
Thank you.
I'm excited to see what the hell you do next year, because you probably
I'm not adding nothing else on the plate right now.
Girl, I think please. You going out of space next year. Just watch.
I wouldn't mind that, though. That'll be fun.
Yeah, you're going to do something wild. But on that note, we're going to close out again. I'm here with my girl, Laje. And please shout out your handles and everything for the people.
Oh, yeah. You guys can follow me at Laje Official. It's Laje Official. I know y'all going to put it down.
Yeah, we're going to put it on there.
Okay. And then you can follow my studio, too, at thegenie.creative studios, and book a session or whatever. Come walk through. You know, we got a lot of creative sets if y'all want to do, like, music videos, photo shoots, podcasts, anything. So follow both of those pages and just hit me up.
Period. Again, this is Bunny Liiu with Who's Liiu, and our special guest today was Laje, and we are out.
Bye.
Period.
That was great.
Period. It was. Oh my God. The retro credits flew in my head.